Lock 4 Bike Park. We're pulling up. Gallatin, Tennessee. This is campfire weather right here. So it's beautiful. 52 degrees. Heading in right now. I love this park. Everything about it. We're gonna get a great ride in. See some other riders are here. I'll be testing the Apple Watch Ultra today on this ride. I just got this as a gift. So for the Ultra, you got the action button, which I've set to workout. I'm going to choose the outdoor cycle ride. Hopefully you can see that it's propped on my side. You can mark your segment with that, which is different. So let's go. Do some Lock 4 action. $50 degrees, Lock 4 Gallatin, beautiful fall weather, doesn't get better weather than this. End of October. The trail gets a little slipperier during this time of year. This will be a great ride. Everything's covered in leaves. Let's see what we got here. What we got? Woo! Smooth. That's like Michael Jackson doing a moonwalk right there on that landing. Whoa. That little dude was trucking. We're gonna kick on to the orange loop. You got a green loop here, which is easy. You got orange, which is more difficult. You got yellow, which is intermediate. And then you do have some black diamonds here. We'll come across. Anytime I cut, I'm just going through some more slower trail. But I'm not going to cut any of the parts. So if you want to use this as a map for Lock 4 Gallatin, feel free to. And you can follow my route. There's many different routes though. You might want to explore, find your own, but I'll give you some bearing on my loop. I'm a little cold. I don't use traditional riding gear, any of that. I'm a thug. Whew. We're gonna come up on one of my favorite parts of this trail. Once I warm up, my speed will pick it up. But I'm in pixie shorts and a pixie shirt. Looks like an Abercrombie & Fitch medium. Let's go. Woo! All right, let me adjust this camera. All right, let's get this. One of my favorite parts of the early trail. You hit this? Woo! Right here. Woo! You hit that little tabletop, get a nice burst of speed. We'll kick it right. Now this is all orange, the side we were on. We're gonna go to the easier, more intermediate side, and we'll come back for the harder orange side. So the route I take is I kick it out to the park road. This isn't a main road, this is a park road. You shouldn't see anybody flooring it here because it's a peninsula off of this side. So it doesn't have an exit. And it's actually a cool place to go and chill, have a picnic, whatever. Lock 4 has many reasons to entertain it. Gallatin, best town in the USA. Actually, with all the yuppies moving to it, when I say yuppies, I don't mean real yuppies, I mean Californians moving to it. I'm just gonna say it, Gallatin sucks, don't come here, don't come here. All right, here we go. Now we're at the intermediate. So you get a little bit of a smoother ride on the intermediate. Always bunny hop right here. We're coming to a crime scene. My first wipeout. Absolute crime scene. I went over the handlebars. First, literally the second time I ever rode was right here. Not long ago either. Like a few months ago. Right here. I came full speed, went off that top right there. So word to the wise, if it's your first time out. You will get some first gear use on this trail unless you're really booking it, because there is some uphill. This whole section of the yellow side is kind of the warm-up side. This helps you get loose. We're about 10 minutes in to this ride. We're going to cover all of Lock 4. I might skip some of the rockier black diamonds, but I'll point those out. And the only reason I skip, I'm going to prolong my bike's lifespan. So if you do the first side of yellow, it interconnects to back to the road, to which this next part is what I call the real trail, because now everything's been kind of a warm-up. Now I should mention I was in Europe for a month, so this is my first ride since being back. Way too many Negronis. Way too many Negronis and very horrible tasting beers. So don't expect me to be killing it because I feel this is my detox run. Woo! My official detox run right here. And you're joining with me. Look at this. There's a postcard right here. There's a postcard. Gallatin Tennessee postcard. Take a screenshot, print it out, send it to your mom. Cause this, look at this. It's beautiful. You go. One thing about the leaves, you can't see where the big roots are. That could be a problem if you never rode this course before. Like right here, that's a jump. Right here's a jump. Woo! I feel like no one's removed that because it's in the perfect place for a nice bunny hop. All right, I'm going first gear on this. Oh God, got my pedal caught there. Recently upgraded my pedals to metal, so if you can see them, if they catch something, you're pretty much dead stopped. But I highly recommend these pedals. My buddy Brian got them for me, so shout out to Cookie. He was in my last ride video. I was in Maryland prior to going to Europe, and now we're back into Tennessee. But let me talk about that a second, because that was crazy. So 1 month, you know, everything that was a month ago, my mom, who just beat lung cancer, it was a grueling battle too. Chemo, radiation. My mom is an absolute warrior. What she was able to go through. And I'll tell you about the most amazing moment, one of my life's most amazing moments. So rewind the clock about a month and a half ago, I was in Tennessee and we're working on a really big project right now with my company. So I'm just like completely neck deep in work. My mom calls me and says, you gotta come home, and she's crying. And I knew right away, my heart just fell, and I knew something was wrong. Well, she had brain cancer. It had metastasized to the brain, which, by the way, she never got an MRI. So this is probably the biggest mishap I've ever seen a hospital do, and I've seen a lot. They cleared her from lung cancer, but they never gave her an MRI. Lung cancer metastasized quickly. The first place it goes is to the brain. It's where your oxygen goes. So they didn't give her an MRI, and she had the size of a walnut brain tumor on her cerebellum. Yep. Completely lifted my world upside down. I go back to Baltimore, and to take my mind off everything that's going on, I did that ride with Cookie. And then I had a Europe trip, which I thought I would be canceling. But my mom, and I'm gonna tell you about that special moment. Let me show you this really cool part real quick. Look, you got a double dip ravines. Woo! Double dip. Woo! Yeah! Woo! Double dip. And when you hit this ride, go to the left right there, because there is a little bit of a trunk poking out. There's another trunk drop off. So when I was headed to Maryland, I'm on the phone. Now she's got two options. One is get it cut out, which obviously is brain surgery. I don't think anybody ever wants to go through brain surgery, but there can be tons of undesired side effects. So my mom is listening to the doctor. I'm on speaker, and the doctor says, we have two options. We could do radiation, or we could cut it out and do radiation. So that's a decision that you might want to take some time to make. Whew, that's a tough route. My mom immediately, with no hesitation, says, cut it out. Didn't even skip a beat. You gonna tell me that's not a warrior? I don't know what is. It motivated me. And I'll be honest with you, I don't get motivated easy. It motivated me. And my mom actually said when I heard her say that, it just sort of put this glow around her. She's my mom, she's already got a glow. Love and hate, we fight, but your mom's always gonna have a special glow. But it just made her so much more of a champion in my mind to say that. Like it completely eclipsed anything I'd done in my life when she said that, because it was the amount of courage it would take to just say, cut it out, no hesitation. So anyway, I have a fear of flying because the autopilot broke on a flight back from Costa Rica to Baltimore, a red eye. The autopilot snapped and the plane did like a 5 to 10 second plummet. And ever since then I break out in a sweat when I get on a flight. So obviously when I go to Europe, we went to Athens first. I was thinking, as the plane was about to take off, I was about to be scared. My normal anxiety was gonna set in. Now this is after I left Baltimore. Well, I'll get back to that, but no anxiety. And all I thought about was my mom saying, cut it out. Like, certain things latch onto you and change you. And that was one of those moments. Now, what happened was, she said that she wanted it out. The doctor, really nice guy, said, I wish I could drop a name. It's slipping my mind right now, but I had a chance to talk to him. He said, we'll get it. They got 94% of it, maybe even higher. And she's only got to do a few minor radiation sessions. But she came out of that surgery, and I kid you not, 1 week after brain surgery was making pancakes for me. I didn't ask that. I woke up because I was staying at home, remember? And I knew, I was like, the European trip is happening. My mom is good. That's unheard of. So I did the trip, got a couple more life lessons, and here we are. Already back in the hood. Whew. In Gallatin. It's my hood now, is what I call it. Because I am originally from Baltimore. Okay, let's go. So we're still on the yellow side. I want to thank you for riding with me. Whew. Look at this little mover right here. Here's a mover. Try to retain speed. I'll show you why. Try to retain speed. Woo! Hey! On that last little downhill there, the previous one, you try to maintain speed so you can get across that bridge at a fast rate. But be warned, if you are new, there's a lot of mini routes there. I am riding on a hardtail, more economic hardtail. Eventually I gotta upgrade to a dual suspension, which I want to. Just haven't had time. All right, let's go. Woo! Are you starting to see why I like Lock 4? It has its hills, it has its roots, but look at this. We're gliding. We're gliding right down to Cumberland Riverbed. We just glided that. Look at this. Now it would be a travesty if I didn't show you the trail. Cool, right? This is about to wrap up the yellow side, and we're gonna go back to the orange side. My lungs haven't adapted yet to the dry air and the colder air. It was warmer in Paris. All right, here we are. Now this is crossing 4, and there's a couple things about crossing 4. A lot of rocks. A lot of rocks. It's all part of the ride though. Different terrains is part of the obstacle, which makes it fun. But you have to know how to handle the different terrains as you learn. And I'm a learner. I've been learning this sport. I love this sport. This sport, it's you push yourself and you don't compete against anyone else. There is a competitive side to this, but I'll never join it. I'm doing this straight up passion, straight up love. And I'm not in my early 20s where I would consider trying to compete here, but I compete in business. So this is all rock. So it is all uphill. You can take a look at that and just see what type of terrain you got. This is my detox ride. Getting that the European foods out of my system too. Which, by the way, little note, no one's out of shape in Europe. It's because they walk everywhere and they have bike lanes everywhere, but it's not their diet. Their diet, crazy low protein, lots of bread, and drinking. So they're just burning calories. No fast food. Very, very sparse fast food. You'll see a McDonald's and a KFC occasionally, but not a whole lot of fast food. All right, we'll see if we can one-shot this without stopping. A little bit of an endurance check. A little bit of a quad check. 6 days a week I train still, work out, weight train. So this is the first day off, which means I'm sore, but we got through it. Okay, this little piece right here, X5, it dumps around to a trail, a rocky trail. There is a fun little downhill and a lot of rocks on the way up. For the sake of time, we're gonna skip that one. We'll come back though. We'll come back and do a full ride. But for now, X5, we're gonna pass that one. We're still gonna be at the hour mark minimum in going through this. And I'm getting ready to go to the farmer's market after that. So here we go. Little mini downhill. We're on orange side. Woo! Woo! Hey! Woo! It's all downhill, but very rooty. Very rooty. You gotta hold on for dear life, unless you got a full suspension. Woo! Rocky and rooty. This little turn right here, kind of like the halfway point in my mind. I'm normally pacing at halfway there. Let's say we got 29 minutes, so that's decent pace. Whew. Whew. So yeah, my mom had the surgery and has had no signs. Well, let me back up a second, because the cerebellum controls, it's at the base of your spine, where your spine meets your brain basically. It is in your brain. And controls your fine motor skills, your balance. So my mom, remember, they didn't give her an MRI. Gross negligence, did not give her an MRI. So she started to experience different things. She couldn't walk straight. Then not being able to walk straight turned into not walking at all. And not from any pain. Her motor skills were gone. They were wiped away because of the tumor was expanding. And it was the size of a walnut by the time they got to it. Had they MRI'd her, they might have been able to knock that out with even just chemo. Instead, she had to go through a life-threatening surgery. The anesthesia alone from that can kill you. Anyway, so she started to experience those things. Now, after she had the brain surgery, she could walk again within that week. It's miraculous, is it not? How the control of the human body, the brain, she's walking again because it was blocking. Those fluids were blocking because of that walnut-sized tumor. I love that little part we just hit. And by the way, the fact that they didn't MRI her, you gotta ask yourself who drops the ball. Is it a doctor? You know how many layers of insurance and scumbags are in control? Somewhere along the lines, the ball got dropped. Now that doesn't mean it's a doctor's fault. All right, look at this part. Woo! So we did just veer left to stay on orange, and we moved away from this particular black diamond. Look at this gorgeous view. Gorgeous view. This right here, that if you take that black, you're gonna come up on tons of rock. So we're back to the base loop trail. If you see BLT on the trees, that stands for base loop trail. I thought it stood for Beltway, and someone finally told me. So X7 and then X7 orange. We will take this black diamond right here. We'll take cross 7. Let's do it. Whew. Now this one I recommend using caution on, because if you slip to the right, you might not be able to maintain your balance back, and you're going off into the Cumberland River. So either get really good at balance or learn how to swim. Probably do both though. Whew. But you are riding the riverbed right here to the right. You can see the riverbed. You're riding that. Whew. That little, that just caught me. And I told you either learn balance or learn how to swim. Which one of those do you think I learned? I learned how to swim. Here we go. Back at it. This is a straight up climb. My stamina and my momentum are both wrecked right now. So one thing that I learned about this sport that I love is the way momentum plays in. The smoother you can make your ride, the faster you go, and the less energy you put in to getting from point A to B. So obviously, if you zing your momentum, you're actually working harder. So it's a sport that kind of like make it take it basketball. The better you get, the smoother your ride gets, the more fun it gets. It's one of the most fun sports to progress in because of that. Look, it's beautiful out here. The one thing that video can never really capture the full experience, but video can't capture the smell. I love the smell of fall. If there was a campfire going right now, I would crack a Corona Light and just shotgun that. It'd be the perfect mix. All right, let's go. Little Riverside Black Diamond. Okay, base loop trail, connector trail. Always take a left here. I promise you. I'll show you why. We're about to hit loop 8. I call loop 8 the 8 ball. So go ahead and crank your gears. You want to be in a high gear. There's another picturesque scene. Colors are just glowing. Okay. We're now officially on 8. Watch this lap. Whew. Look at this. Woo! Two really fun little mini tabletops. We're not done with the joy of 8 yet either. 8 it's my new second favorite lap on this whole course because it was my first favorite. It got reduced. Look at this little obstacle. Little drop. It got reduced because lap 12 was hidden from me and I found it. And I will show you 12. 12 is the best lap. In fact, you could come here and just run 12 over and over again. I want to tell you why I record my rides. I started to realize that life is very fast, and one day I may want to remember these rides. That's why I record them. Plus, somebody might want to ride along with me. We're gonna get some movement here. We got some movement. Woo! See? Woo! Yes! Nice drop. Going on to 9. It's a juxtaposition. 8 is my second favorite lap. 9 is the lap that I can't stand. I don't want to say I can't stand it because I love everything about the trail. But 9, it only has one piece about it that I like. Because, and you'll notice, look at this. Getting up this, then you got to go up these routes. A lot of routes, a lot of uphill routes. This is the perfect exercise / recreation. Maybe kayaking could get to that level in my opinion. But even then, you gotta prepare the kayak, get the kayak out there, gotta have a waterway. This You can almost find a mountain bike trail anywhere in the US, even Florida. As flat as Florida is, people constructed them. Here we go. And I won't lie to you, I definitely looked that up because I'm considering moving to Florida. That's a big consider though, because I love this area so much. It'll take a lot to get me out of here. It would take the politics going blue to get me out of here. But that's enough to get you out of any state if you're pro-business and you're pro-working. Look at this. Holy smokes. This entire, I rode this 1 month ago, remember? Remember we mentioned that? This entire trail was a canopy of green. And now it's orange and brown. I'm so glad I came out here today. I wasn't going to do it because I've got the farmer's market. I've got a lot of work. So I decided, I got the day started early enough. It's only 10 a.m. now. Saturday. My favorite day is a weekday though. Look at this. Whew. Look at those woods. Tennessee woods. Whew, V up. A V up directly. Look at this. Whew. Crossing 10. We're going to take orange here just for time and for bike lifespan. Lots of rocks and roots that way. Plus I want to conserve my energy for 12 because we're hitting 11. So we're hitting 11 right here. I want to conserve my energy for you to blast 12. 12 requires a lot of control and balance. Again, I said 12 is my favorite lap, and you could continually hit 12 again and again. But if you don't hit it fast enough, and you'll see what I mean when we get there, we're almost there, you're gonna be stuck. It's back to what I said about momentum. So we'll skip that black diamond. We will come back for that black diamond, but I did show you, I think that was 7 earlier. That's a waterway black diamond. That one's a waterway black diamond as well, except it's a more rocky waterway. Whew. Now this drop right here, jump line drop, I don't do yet. In a few more laps I'll do it, but it's the landing here that I don't know yet. And I don't want to throw my bike under the bus again, but that's probably the most advanced drop I've ever seen on any of these trails. Even the Maryland trails, that particular drop right there, I mean, obviously it was designed by experts. It's for experts, there's no doubt. So I want to make sure that I have an upgraded bike, or at least upgraded skill sets before I approach that. I always think that in my 20s I would have done that immediately, but I also didn't care about being laid up for a week or two if I fell. And now you got to think about it, as you get older, you're not even going to be laid up for a week or two. That week or two is going to turn into 6 months. Err on the side of caution, live to fight another day, if you will. Okay, so funny part, this is an uphill battle right here. We're at the 50-minute marker. Now this particular uphill, I always thought was the end of the trail. I never knew about 12. It's kind of hidden. So what I always do would be, I end it here, and you can see the drops over there that we came in on. I would just kick a left right here, because I see that there's a trail connector up here So I just figured it was over. And this is where my hidden lap is. Lap 12. Some people would say it wasn't hidden ever, brother. But let me gamify it a minute. Here it is. So we'll take a little bit of a second, have our second drink of water. We'll blaze up past 12. Best lap I've come across so far. Lock 4, Gallatin, Tennessee. This is the best lap I've come across in mountain biking. Look at the flow. You gotta hit this. You gotta hit this. That's what I was talking about. If you don't have speed there, it's like a pit. Fun don't stop yet. So this trail connector right here kicks back to 13. Now 13 is the green loop, you can see. We haven't done a green loop yet. So what I'll do now is, there's where we came in, right up there. If you come here for the first time, run 13 first, because 13 is kind of a warm-up slash, it's geared for people just trying the trail out or kind of getting their bearings. Even if you're an expert, you can warm up on 13. Let's warm up on it. Got this mini drop. Woo. This one you can whip. You can whip it, it's green. So don't be afraid to hit the gas. You can see that there's not many leaves here, because a lot of people also hike this one. So it's getting a lot of use. You definitely want to high gear this part. Look at this. Whew. High gear this part right here. Lift it. And if you're new to riding, 13 gives you some early diversity. You got a little bit of technical aspects, some jumps, a lot of natural trail beauty. You got a waterway, and I think it's under a mile. It's like half a mile, this lap. Switching to 14. It just converted to green 14. I always high gear this part because it is a nice downhill. A little rocky, but this particular lap, the first time I ever got a bike, dead center of summer, at the peak of the humidity, about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. This is the first ride I ever had. And despite my lack of stamina, my lack of being able to breathe in the heat, and my frustration with not understanding mechanics of how to handle roots, all of that didn't stop me from saying, I will do this constantly now. I was hooked. I just knew that it had such deep layers to the sport that you didn't need to rely on anyone else. I don't like team sports as much after playing them my whole life. You rely on other pieces of the puzzle. And even in business, I think being a micromanager is underrated. You have to obsess in order to level up quicker. Nothing wrong with leverage and nothing wrong with delegation. That's not what I'm saying. But let me shift gears back to the sport. I knew that I could work on this in my own time, and my ability to be better, to progress against myself, was controlled by no one else. I knew right away on that first ride all those aspects, which is why mountain biking was immediately, that was it. I was gonna do it. My only regret is that I didn't get into this at a much younger age. I just didn't know about it. On the same day I rode, my girlfriend Zara also did. And in that first 5 minutes, you would have thought, if she had she was gonna kill me, let's just say that much. It's a heck of a lot different than the road. I also knew the first day I rode that I was pretty much done with road biking, unless it was just to get around town. I can still enjoy it, but, and there's been days when we've tried to go do greenway or regular road stuff. All I was thinking about was coming back to the dirt. You get much more, I think, thrill in a shorter period of time. The dirt reminds me of bodybuilding or HIIT or anything that's like a sprint. You're putting a lot of effort in a shorter period of time, versus road biking feels like more of a marathon. You can cover a lot of miles and see things, and it has its virtues, but no. Dirt, where it's at. I don't know if you can see the parking lot. We're coming up on the end, and it's full now. Stacked full. Look. Completely full. I see some Gladiators, some Jeep Gladiators. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna do my victory lap. This is my little victory lap. So if you come up here, if you watch this video, I want you to do a victory lap, and I want you to comment, I did your victory lap. So I always come back through there. And I ride all the way back to the original jumps. Let me give you a time check real quick, hold on. By the way, Apple Watch Ultra, let me review it real quick while we're getting to my this is the victory lap. As we're doing the victory lap, let me review the brand new Apple Watch Ultra. I was not going to buy this. Zara bought it for me as a gift. She knew that I would like it, and I do like it. Oh, look at that little guy. Woohoo! We got a deer. Our first deer of the day on the trail. So Apple Watch Ultra review. Let's do the quick real world application review as we do the victory lap. Okay. We're at 63 minutes, 6.8 miles. We've got an average pace of 6.4. That's not bad considering this is my detox ride from Europe. So if you already have an Apple Watch and you're debating upgrading on the Ultra, well, let's first start with if you don't have an Apple Watch. Okay, let's start there. And then we'll go with the upgrade portion. Now, before I do the review, as part of the victory lap, we gotta do a jump. You digging? All right, no rest, we're going straight in. Let's go. Woo! Now that one I lost footing on because I tried to change gears last second and missed it. So we're gonna hit one more banger on that. The final victory lap, by the way, you're gonna see the beauty of Gallatin Lock 4. So be sure to hang with me while we do the Apple Ultra review / victory lap. Okay, hold on. So to do the official victory lap, if you do it, you do have to do a jump. Just keep that in mind. Okay, here we go. Footing's good. Woo! Okay. We'll let that one be the victory lap jump. Okay. And now we'll continue the victory lap. We're gonna ride out, pop out to the road. We're gonna go around that beautiful parkway. And then we're gonna come back to the Jeep Gladiator Mojave. I gotta review that too, because I give that a 5 out of 5, glowing, absolute, buy one immediately. It's like the Tesla eater. Nothing wrong with Tesla, by the way, just it guzzles gas. Okay, Apple Ultra. If you don't have an Apple Watch, the ecosystem of Apple is the reason to buy into Apple. It's smooth. It's very smooth. It tracks everything. Now, I normally wear watches, and I have a watch collection of Brietlings, Tudors, and Cartiers. I normally like my watches. It's like the one piece, and I know it's a stupid expense, but it's the one piece of mechanical engineering that is sort of an ode to the past. So I love Switch-made watches. My favorite watch being the Brietling Chronomat. It's my favorite, absolute favorite. I think it's the perfect watch. I have two. I've got an enlarged Chronomat, and I have a new age green face Chronomat. Now that said, if I'm rocking that kind of watch, there's this big gap between smart watches versus people that rock those watches, rock dress watches, or, you know, luxury watches, you even call them. And I can tell you, if you start rocking a smartwatch, even as a luxury watch connoisseur of sorts, I'm not really a connoisseur, but I like them, I don't even think for a second that you can't deny the fact that a smartwatch obliterates the efficiency. Obliterates. So what's the remaining reason to even wear one of those watches? Only reason is just internal status or external status. I wear those watches, the luxury watches, because each one of them represents a different achievement, and I want to pass them along. The way those watches are preserved and made, they can't roll out the same. It's like the pyramids. You can never recreate the pyramids. You can never recreate a Swiss-made luxury watch because the factories change, the legal changes, so they're kind of frozen pieces of history and achievements. So when you start wearing an Apple Watch, it's very hard to put one of those luxury watches back on. Hold on, we gotta jump. Woo! Let's go. Hey! We got it. We got it. Okay, victory lap time. As promised. Gallatin, Tennessee. It's beautiful. All right, so it's very hard to not wear an Apple Watch if you get used to it, because it will track your calories. You can see your emails, you can see your stocks. I use the screen where I can just literally see my stocks. Sorry for the noise, hold on 1 second. Okay. Had to open my man purse. We're doing the victory lap, just my glasses popped out of my man purse. Okay, so I use the Apple Watch screen. I can see the weather immediately. I know if it's going to rain or not. Just the amount of information that you can get quickly without having to pick your phone up, and that can be vital if you're waiting for emails and you don't want to stay glued to your phone. What I find with the Apple Watch is I use my phone less. I don't want to be glued to my phone. So reasons to buy one: one, you can use your phone less. Two, you got the Apple ecosystem. And you know, like, I am an Apple fanboy because I love Steve Jobs, but they just, I've seen those other watches. The interfaces are garbage on those other watches. Okay, this is without a thorough review, so don't grill me on that one, but like, you're not going to beat Apple's interfaces. And yeah, they're overpriced, but at the end of the day, if you're worried about the price that bad, don't buy a watch, just go buy a Swatch or something. Anyway, but you do have to take price into consideration. Look at this, gorgeous. All I'm saying is, if you're complaining about the Apple Watch price and you're buying a Droid product, that's a silly reason to complain about the price. Just go for the better interface. Go for what's going to be more cohesive as an ecosystem with your life. So Apple Watch, big thumbs up. Now I had the last, I think it was 2 generations ago Apple Watch prior to that Ultra coming out, and it's awesome. I use it constantly. I use it for every one of my rides. We're at the 70-minute marker here doing the victory lap. So the victory lap, you come around, you do the whole lap here. Now, I've always loved the Apple Watch. I did have the first gen Apple Watch, and I really love the tracking ability. It tracks your steps, all those things. It's just cool. It's awesome. So if you're health conscious, fit conscious, I don't see a reason not to get one. Now, I was very happy with my Apple Watch. I had the Snap-on band, the one that comes with it that's magnets. I love that band. So I rocked the Apple Watch, no problem. Loved it. I had the gold face one and the gold case, and that watch got me a good 3 years use. And when I'll still wear my luxury watches if I'm going out. I don't dress up ever, so if I'm wearing V-necks or something, I'll wear the luxury watch, and that's like my equivalent to wearing a tie or something to a nice dinner, right? And no one ever says anything. You go to a jacket required dinner and you just got a V-neck on. I find that if I have a nice watch, you know, they're not gonna say nothing. It could be in my head, but anyway. So the Apple Watch, I'm giving straight up 5 out of 5s. And for the price, all that, it lasts, battery life lasts. Typically if I wear, now let's get into should you upgrade to the Ultra watch, okay? So typically if I wear the regular Apple Watch, it would kind of die by the end of the day. It's done. I wore this Ultra, did everything in it, tracked everything. This was from morning. I don't sleep in it, but this is from morning to night, and it was at 73% battery. So the battery life is insane on the Ultra. That's one benefit. By the way, I'm going to conclude this with should you upgrade to the Ultra, and I'm going to conclude it with that. However, battery life already across the board crazy. So if you're worried about battery life, if you're in the field or you're doing something, whether it be military or you're doing long treks, go with the Ultra, okay? Now that's the big thing. That's the first big thing. Now technical differences, there's not really any. There's a couple different faces you can use that are different than the regular watch, because you can go into night mode, which the night mode I will say is cool. It's like an infrared looking night mode. You can switch to it, conserve your eyes at night. So if you're in the field at night, or if you're a police, I think that's important, because police working nights or something, you don't want bright stuff in your eyes and you need to get quick information. So if you're a service member, something along those lines, I feel like the Apple Watch could be a thumbs up if you do night work, because that night mode, it's really, really, really nice. But I don't feel like it's far behind being able to do night mode on the other watch. I don't see why they couldn't. It's literally just a matter of colorization. So if they're holding back night mode from the standard Apple Watch just for the Ultra, for the sake of putting another notch on the Ultra's belt, that's kind of cheesy. And I could see Apple doing stuff like that. Next thing, dropping pins and locations using the advanced compass. That's powerful. I will say this, I did a bike trail a few months back and I was lost, and it was about 98 degrees. I didn't film this ride, nothing like that. I was scared to death because I felt like I was gonna faint. I had no idea where I was at. The backtracking capabilities of the Ultra, plus there is a siren on the Ultra. I mean, it's loud. So the siren, combine all these aspects. If you are really big on outdoors, I feel like go ahead and upgrade to the Ultra, all right? But if you're just city goer, you're chilling, if you want the Ultra for just the aesthetic, having the new, I think it's worth the upgrade if that's what you want it for. But if you really don't need those features, stick with the regular Apple Watch. I mean, I could do pretty much everything. I could do this trail with the regular Apple Watch. I could do everything with the regular Apple Watch. There's no need for the Ultra and all those bells and whistles. Now, one other big capability I see with the Ultra is water, depth in particular. If you dive or surf, go with the Ultra. It does have a depth gauge on it. Now, from what I've read in the reviews I've looked at, because I've looked at tons of reviews, if you're like a super diver, I don't know if it will be efficient for you. So make sure you look into that. Don't make sure it will work. But from my usage, if I go down, I'm not going even down 100 meters or something, right? I might go down 10. It's perfect for me. So for all those reasons, and one other reason I like it, my eyes suck. So it is bigger. That's another reason to go for it for me, is that I have a hard time seeing. I'm a +6, farsighted +6. So if you know anything about eyes, my glasses are literal Coke bottles. So even with contacts, I appreciate the bigger screen. So for that reason, it's worth upgrading to me. Aesthetically, comfort-wise and all that, it's great. I love all those aspects to it. Lock 4, concluding the Apple Watch. We got 76 minutes. Actually, let me take this off, I'll show you. All right, so looking at the Apple Watch, you do everything like usual on it, same as the other watch. The bands are different, the face is a little bigger, which I like bigger watches, so you can see how it wears. It's comfortable though, it really is, it's comfortable. So let's go ahead and conclude the ride. I'll try to do this. Boom, we'll end the ride. So you can see we did 119 minutes, or an hour and 19, 8.4 on the distance, 6.4 average speed. Sorry this is getting so close, but I got no other way to control this. 986 calories burned. We got the bike back in. There's the Mojave, which again, I give that a 5 out of 5. Couldn't give this car more, this Jeep more. I love this. The rims, it's all stock too. I didn't have to upgrade anything. And that's Lock 4 Gallatin. I want to thank you again for riding with me. I hope you enjoyed this ride as much as I did. I wish you were here to experience the crisp air. That's it. We will conclude this one. Thanks again for riding. I will catch you in the next one.